What's up, America? This is Kim with Geauga Firearms Academy. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to do a comparison video with the SIG 365 and the Springfield Hellcat. So let's get started.
So just a little side note, this is probably the most honest review you're ever going to see of these two guns for a couple of reasons. One, I don't own any of these guns. One of them was borrowing from a family member. And another one I'm borrowing from a good friend of mine who owns Patch Ops, which, by the way, we'll put a little link down below. He's got all the cool swag patches. He even does ours. He does custom patches as well. And some very, I don't know, what's he got? A couple hundred probably?
Yeah.
I've never heard anyone go to his website and go, he doesn't have enough patches. So check them out for sure. But they're the other ones who loaned us this, one of the two guns. It's secret, I can't tell you which one. The reason I'm telling you that this is going to be one of the honest is one reviews you're going to see is obviously I don't have any skin in the game. I don't own any of these. It doesn't matter to me. And number two, I don't like any of these guns personally. I don't mean I don't like them as in they're bad guns. They're too small. They're designed exactly for what they are, which is like the most compact, I mean the highest capacity, tiny gun you can, here's the size of my hand. Let's just cut to the chase. And there's the gun. It is just too damn small. Either one of these for me to be comfortable to use. So I'm going to give you my honest opinion and shooting experience and whatever from the gun as they are. Whether I like them or not, the brands are irrelevant to me. I like both brands.
And I wanted to try them because I have little hands.
These are perfect for Kim though. Perfect for Kim, but me not so much.
So right away you're going to notice they are just about identical in size. I know there's a little bit of a difference, but overall they are just about the same size. Let's look at them on top of each other. So you see they're about the same size and they're about the same height. The one thing both of them are known for are their capacity for their size. So let's check out these magazines. Right off the bat, the Hellcat has the SIG on capacity. On their flush fit, it's 11+1. On their extended, it's 13+1. For the SIG, it's 10+1 for the flush fit and then 12+1 for the extended. The other thing I really like about the Hellcat magazine is I just like how it's just nice and it's very smooth metal. I'm not as crazy about the finish on the magazine for the SIG. You're also going to notice that the extended magazines come with a base plate that's textured. One thing I noticed when we put them really close, I just noticed that that the Hellcat has a little bit wider of a grip, and the 365 has a little bit of a narrower grip. They both have a cutout here, you'll see. But one thing I really like is on the SIG, even if you had the flush fit in there, that's a nice little gap where you can really get a hold of the magazine if you had a malfunction. And for you left-handed shooters, the mag releases are swappable, but the slide stops are not. One thing we noticed right away was the rails. So let's look at the Hellcat. It comes with a universal pick rail, so you can put a lot of accessories on, where the SIG does not. There are some SIG accessories you can buy that are specially made for it, but you can't just take any universal light and put it on the SIG. It's similar to the Shield where there's not very many light options. The Hellcat also comes milled, so it's red dot ready, and you can take this plate off and you can keep your factory sights on. With the SIG, it doesn't come with that. There is an option on the XL if you wanted to get a red dot. Now let's look at their sights. They both come standard with metal sights with a nice combat edge. Here's the SIG and here is the Hellcat. And let's turn them at different angles so you can see them.
So I just wanted to throw in my 2 cents here on the sights. As you see, if you come down here, you'll start to look through the camera here. These are your standard, I mean not standard, they're really nice, but these are the SIG night sights. They're called X-ray sights. They've had a lot of experience with them, love them. That's got a nice bright front sight there that's going to glow at night. It's in the night sight. And then there's 2 dots that are very subtle. For me, as I've said on many videos before, I always black out my rear sights because I don't want anything on there. Just my personal preference, but they do have 2 little dots that glow. My main thing is combat edge and made of metal. I don't really care whether they're night sights or not, to be completely honest with you. Kind of a useless feature for the most part. Now, Springfield had a little bit different way of doing it. They have a beautiful front sight in there as well that's also a night sight. Great sight, very robust in the rear, great combat edge. But they have the U-notch. Some people love them, others not so much. Again, I just like a blacked out square notch sight, so having that on there really didn't make any real difference to me one way or the other. It was unique, and it definitely helped you to be able to line up your sights pretty quickly. So it is a nice feature. We'll talk about triggers and our experience shooting here in a little bit. But beforehand, I just want to show you the basic takedown of these pistols. Also very, very similar. You're going to have to lock the slide to the rear on the Springfield. You're going to have a takedown lever, pretty straightforward. On Springfields, they go up. All right. You're going to let the slide go forward, press the trigger, safe direction, and your slide comes right off. Then you're going to have a captured metal guide rod spring assembly, which is very nice. I'm a big, it's one of my things I've always said about Glock. I wish they just came standard with metal guide rods, just my opinion. Nice barrels, good feed ramp. As you can see, this gun has definitely been shot already. Very, very good quality stuff here. Super easy to assemble and reassemble. No issues. Same order in reverse. Lock the slide back. Make sure your lever's back. Good to go. Test fire. That's the Springfield. Then we have the SIG. Very similar. Lock the slide back. This time on SIGs, the lever, so you see there, it goes down, opposite direction. Okay. Now, you could remove this one without pressing the trigger. Not that that really makes any difference to me. Again, metal guide rod, metal spring, nice setup. Whoops. Typical SIG quality, nothing out of the ordinary there. If you want to see these side by side, by the way, some people like to see the comparison, I guess. I'll just show you this real quick. Here's the spring and guide rod in the Hellcat right here, and in the SIG 365. So a little bigger, that really makes that huge difference, but just something to note. And then also on our barrels, kind of look at these side by side as well. This is going to be the 365, and this is your Hellcat. So I'm sorry, yeah, correct, Hellcat. So you can see on the sides, not that it's going to make any real difference. There's a little bit more thickness on the Hellcat than the SIG. Again, not a big deal one way or the other, but just something to note.
So this is where we talk about the trigger weights, but the best place to talk about that is on the range. So let's go out and shoot them.
Kim, what are you doing right now?
Just dry firing.
Why would you do that?
So I want to see what it feels like to get ready to shoot.
So you're saying that's a good idea?
Yes.
And people should do that?
They should do it. It's
Fantastic.
free. Do it all day. I'm curious to see if it's kind of snappy because it's so small, so I'm interested in see how it fires.
What do you think?
It was good. I liked it so far. It's a little bit snappier than my other guns, but it's small, so that's what you expect. But overall, I like the trigger, and I liked it so far.
What are you doing now?
Dry firing.
Again?
This one.
Again with the dry fire?
Can't get too
So
much
you mean
dry
you should do
fire.
that with each gun?
Oh yeah, each gun.
I gotta say, the extractor on that is a beast. You were throwing spent casings at me like no one's business.
From first impressions, I'm going to shoot a little bit more. This one felt a lot snappier in my hand. I don't know if it was just first
This
impressions.
one as in the Hellcat.
The Hellcat, yeah, versus the SIG. I feel like I had a lot more control with the SIG, and this one felt a lot more jumpier. So, well, we'll do some more rounds and see what we think. I know a lot of people say they had issues with the Hellcat trigger. I didn't have any issues with it. I thought it was actually pretty smooth. I think it was just more that jumpy feeling I didn't really care for. Another issue, we had a few students in our class bring it, and they don't engage this trigger safety. This trigger safety here, if you don't engage that, it will not fire. And so if we've had quite a few students come to class and try this or bring it themselves, and they've had issues with not compressing that all the way.
Hang on, so just what we're trying to say here, obviously this is designed to not let the gun go, but a lot of people, like, look with Kim's smaller hand, a lot of times people will be higher up in the trigger up here. Now look, she can't compress it from there. Pull the trigger. You can't.
Oh yeah, I'm
So
stuck.
he's got to get a full, he's got to be low enough on that trigger because if she gets too high on it, hold on, I lost focus. There you go. If she gets too high on it, it won't fire. That's exactly what happens.
You can see the SIG doesn't have any trigger safety. And also look how far forward my finger is. Just I have tiny hands, obviously, so you can see that if you had smaller hands, might have an issue with that Hellcat, making sure you press that trigger safety.
And just to point out, just because it doesn't have a trigger safety in here is a good and bad thing. SIG's had some problems with that with other firearms that we won't get into on this one, and there has been some recalls. But there's definitely no way, regardless of how high or how low you get on that trigger, that gun's not going to go bang.
I can definitely feel after handling both guns right after each other that this grip is significantly smaller. So if you have really small hands, this one might be a better fit for you.
So, anything change?
No, I'm still favoring this one so far.
All right. I'm up next.
All right.
Well, as luck would have it, it's getting darker out here in the range, and of course I don't have my clear lenses, so I guess I'm kind of doing a little night shooting or a little low light shooting here, so we'll make the best of it. Which way's the target again? Where am I? I'm just kidding. All right, so I'm going to start off here with the old Hellcat, which is not old. See what we think here. All right, here we go. Caught myself on that one. All right, so as figured, my slide didn't lock back because my hands are large. Again, I am shocked. This feels like shooting a 40. No fault to the Hellcat. I'm sure the SIG is going to feel the same way. I'm not used to shooting anything smaller than like a 19 size gun, double stack type of thing. 6.12. Over 200 pounds, and this gun is too small. I hate it. Not because it's a Hellcat or anything. It's just too damn small for my. I mean, look, when I get my regular grip, I had to back off, but look where my thumb is. I mean, this is not. I'm not doing anything unusual. This would be my normal grip. I just don't like it. Well, come on, people. Hellcat. I pulled a couple shots. My bad. I just no excuse. I pulled these two. Not a bad group with it. I guess it's just, I guess I was more taken aback by how much recoil one of these little guys has. I'm just not used to it. I don't eat my shield for some reason. I don't shoot a ton. It's really just a deep cover backup gun. I don't know. I think they're about the same. And anyway, grip, I would say the texturing is very nice. This one, I'll be honest with you, I'm really nervous about the 365 because just feeling it when I was tabletop and everything, it feels smaller, and this is already kind of at my limit. Sights are awesome. They're spot on. I would get rid of that U in the back, the color, just because, again, personally, I don't like color back there, but sights are awesome. They are really nice. Other than that, let's go see what this thing does. Wow. Look, I want to show you guys something. Look at that grip before I put a mag in there. It's like trying to hold on to a pencil, it feels like. It's just, I totally get it. For people that don't have these, yeah. All right, never mind. Don't shoot your thumb off. Okay, don't shoot my thumb off. Let's not do that today. We'll modify my grip a little bit. Let's see what we think of this one. One plus on that one, the slide did lock back for me. Well, I'll show you side by side again, but I don't think, I mean, there's my hands consume this whole gun, so it's just the way my palm or something sits in there. Let's go look at the target. A little bit better group on this one. I would say this is more reminiscent of the SIG style trigger that I shoot more of. Again, I really only pulled 2 shots, but relatively they're about the same. I mean, I wouldn't say one is, in my hands, is really more accurate than the other. Just, you know, how well did I perform with the gun itself? Darn, that's a small grip. That is just, I mean, my ring finger is almost at the palm of my hand already before I even get my hand on there. So I'm basically just kind of all bunched up on the gun. Again, that's not a takeaway to the gun. They are what they are. They're super. In fact, it's a bonus. It's what people want. You guys want the smallest gun that you can possibly carry, and with that many rounds. I mean, 12 or 13. Let's be honest. That's staggering. So for what they are, they definitely do the job. One thing I want to see. I mean, typically I do the 2 mags and do the whole drill and all that about reloads on the gun. Anytime that there's that much hand on the gun, I have to really break that to get that mag out. But just trying to get that out is a lot harder. I mean, look, I have to come to here. So basically it's just these 2 fingers that can even touch the gun. This is a safe direction, so it's not a big deal. But here, I mean, it's extremely difficult to get this mag out. And you can do it, but it's really tough. So let me see if, I don't think it's going to change. These are pretty much wallet-sized guns anyway. Let me see. And just as comparison as before, when you were on the tabletop, this kind of the SIG standard triangle shape there. So this is the Hellcat version. Now the Hellcat drops out way easier. I could do that all, that's not so bad. That's almost like, it's almost like not a compromise at all. So hands down, Hellcat wins as far as mag control. But again, that's because there's the thickness of the grip of the pistol fits my hand so much better. So for me, if I had to choose, I'll just tell you right now, between the 2 guns, I would go with the Hellcat because there's a little bit more meat to the grip. Really, that's the only reason. Trigger-wise, we always talk about this. It's trigger characteristics. Which trigger do you like better? Which do you shoot? Which do you feel comfortable with? I could take any shooter, put them on any gun, run it long enough, and you'll like that trigger. I mean, it is what it is. So, and that I'm not so much worried about. But for me, I go with the Hellcat. Let's see what Kim what her final say is on between the 2. All right, Kim, moment of truth. So I said Hellcat for me.
I'm gonna go 1 for the SIG.
Right.
I actually like that one better. I felt like I just shot it better, and it's not saying it's not, the other one's not a great gun, because we always say guns are like cars. They're very personal. It depends on your hand size, what you're going to use them for, how well you shoot them. So both are great guns, but I definitely, for me, I would go with the SIG.
And let's just for comparison, that might be part of the reason. Just throwing it out there.
We hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give us a like, a share, a comment. We always love to hear from you guys. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe here on YouTube. You want to find us on Facebook, on Instagram, and we put all of our premium content on Patreon. Until next time, remember, it's always better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6.